I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need you to.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, your brother, and your friend, Rashid, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me on another edition of the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. This is the Red Pill Diaries. And today's subject, and we're going to be talking about what's going on in the Himalayas. As you guys can see now, I'm exhausted. I'm mentally and I'm just exhausted. But I owe it to you all to do a show, and I want to show my appreciation to every one of you who sent out your well wishes to the loss of my mother recently in the last few days. I want to thank each and every one of you who's shown support and respect for the platform, and I want to thank each and every one of you who give your time, your effort, and your donations to keeping the platforms, be it us on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Locals. I think it's another place that we're on. I don't know how to navigate the place, but I think it's what is not Tumblr. It is a Russian platform. What is it called? Not Messenger. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, my mind is like out there. Let me bring you guys up to date before we get really into the platform. Okay, there's been a lot going on. So shout out to everybody in the platform. Anthony Ryder, shout out. Thank you, Vera. Shout out. Red Panda Pie, thank you. Grizzly, thank you. Thanks everybody for joining me. We're gonna get to cooking. It's just gonna take me a minute to get there. I've already almost lost my voice. This is the first platform, the first broadcast without my mom watching physically. She was the number one fan of the show. I got a chance to spend a lot of time with her. She was my best friend, my counselor, my instructor, my discipline. I'm 50 plus years old. I might not look it, guys, but I'm 50 plus years old. And she would get on me all the time. She loved the show. She loved you guys. She said every time she watched, she learned something, and she was so proud of her baby boy. But here's the kicker. It's been so much going on. So I'll address this at the beginning of the show, and then we'll go into what's really going on in the news. Okay. My oldest sister got here because I've been handling all of the business going on for my mother, and she got here, and I was so relieved that she came to take the burden off my back. And my brother and I and my baby sister, we've been doing a lot of the stuff. So my sister comes, and my sister goes into some kind of shock or something like that, and they had to revive her. She passed out at my other sister's house. They thought she was dead. The same medics that tried to revive my mother were called on the other side of town to revive, and we didn't even know this, to revive my sister. They got my oldest sister revived. She's good to go and everything like that. So we'll be bringing all of this stuff to a close next week, early next week, for my mother's send off. All right. But yeah, I didn't have to share, but I wanted to share it with all of you guys because I view you guys as family. You guys have been here. You guys through it all. You've been here, and I want to show respect and admiration and gratefulness for each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And people don't say this a lot because they carry a lot of burdens. And if you see me with these earrings on, these are my mom's. So I had to do that. I don't wear earrings too much, but I put these on. I don't care if anybody's pissed or mad or anything like this. This is for my mom. I put them on in honor of my mom. Okay. They can be mad, they can be pissed. It's better to be pissed off than get pissed on, but nothing mattered more. That was my world. All right. Um, and I know I came second in her life to her grandchildren. She let me know this constantly. I love you, son, but you do not compare to my grandchildren. Yeah. So I understood that. But there's a lot that's been going on in the news. A lot. And the reason I'm sharing with you my story of tribulation is because we all have tribulation and trials going on, and it's how you go through them. All right. Um, in the Holy Quran says that a true believer is tried very hard once or twice a year. In the Bible, it talks about believers being tried hard once or twice a year. Okay. Um, and as a stern believer in God, that's the cross, that's the crescent that I have to bear. I'm no different from you all. The pain at times become unbearable, but it is what it is. And as you go through it, you you either break or you become stronger. And I always tell you guys, I'm built for pain. I'm built for this. My life was through this. I'm forged. That's how you forge steel, right? That's how you forge the strongest steel. It has to go through the hottest fire. It has to go through all of the tests and tribulations to be found worthy, to be able to be that steel that is the base of the strongest buildings. And that's what you're going. That's what I'm going through. And I'm not going through it alone. Other people have their burdens that they have to go through. Now, thank you for listening to this. Webb said, I heard about your mother. I'm sorry, Rashid. She's watching in spirit. I pray to God. I often say this in prayer. My prayers, my sacrifice, my life, and my death are all for Allah. And whether you want to say Jehovah or whether you want to say Elohim or whatever, my prayers, my sacrifices, my life, and my death are all for the Lord of the worlds. And that does not excuse me from going through the sacrifice of these things. It doesn't. It's just that I'm supposed to go through them dignified. I'm supposed to go through them in a way to show other people that, hey, throughout all of this, God's wisdom supersedes all of the hurt, all of the pain, all of the regret, all of the doubts that you may have in your mind. God's wisdom is supposed to supersede all of that, and you're supposed to find refuge and peace in his promise. All right. And that's what I look forward to in all of this. So at least I got something that others didn't get. I spent the day with her before she passed away. As a matter of fact, it was only about 30 minutes to an hour after we had coffee. We were joking, we were laughing. My brother and I, we got up, we said some smart words to her. She started laughing, and she told us, leave the front door open, just lock the storm door. I want to look out the door. I want to look at how beautiful it is out there. And I said, Mom, I'll be back. I got to go pick up my daughter. I'll be back. And as soon as I pick her up, I'm going to probably go home for a minute. Then I'll come back through. And so when I picked my daughter up, my daughter said, Dad, I've been working 12 hours. I'm so tired. Would you take me home? We came home. I said, while I'm here, I might as well jump in the shower. I jumped in the shower, jumped across the edge of the bed for a minute. I said, I'm going to close my eyes for about 10 minutes. It wasn't 10 to 15 minutes. My niece calls me. Hey, Nana's unresponsive. We just got to Nana's house. Nana's unresponsive. I'm like, what? I just left there. Are you serious? Hold on, give me a few minutes. Jump, put my shorts on, my shirt. I get there. There's 2 fire trucks, about 10 police cars, 10 or 15 police cars, ambulance. So when I jump out the car, evidently everybody in the neighborhood told them who I was. The police surrounded me. They wouldn't let me. They told me to bag my car out of the yard and bag it across the street. I bagged it across the street. They told me to get out of my car. I'm like, what is this? What is going on? They get around me. They said, can we get your keys? I'm like, no, you can't get my keys. I need to go in there and see about my mom. We can't let you in there. We know that how close you and your mom are. We can't let you leave either. You have to be right here. They put people around my car. They said, and you're a big guy. You're like 6 feet tall. You're a big guy. We And we already know that you're a martial artist. We cannot let you leave. You have to be here. So I had to stay there long. And I said, listen, if my mom doesn't make it out of here, can I leave before they bring my mom out in a bag? Because that's something that I cannot take. Period. They gave me the word that they would let me do that, and they kept their word. I want to give a shout out to the police officers that did their job. They were wonderful. They were excellent. I would give a shout out to the fire department. They did their job. They were wonderful. They were excellent. I want to give a shout out to most of the paramedics there. Most of them were wonderful, but some of them stole my mother's money that was in her clothing when they cut it off. Because when we went to get the clothing, her money was missing. That pissed me off. Okay. All right. So I want to put that out there. So now let's go into this thing about what's going on in the Himalayas. Okay. I'm going to bring something up. My screens are messing up a little bit, and I didn't have time. I rushed home to do the show because I wanted to talk to you guys. I wanted to level with you guys because I haven't done a Patreon. I haven't done a channel member. I haven't done a live stream, and I want you to know what's going on. Okay. I'm going to get to you guys. I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I am. I'm going through a lot, so give me a little time to get all of this together and make heads or tails of this. But it's amazing. It's amazing that all of the people are talking about what's going on in the Himalayas or in the Indus Valley now. And I did an article on Patreon prior to this happening. Okay. And let me try to pull it up for you guys. Hold on one second. It's on Patreon. Give me a second. I'm going to have to use this because I'm having problems trying to get this stuff going over here. Okay. And please charge it to my head and not to my heart that we're having problems with this. This is not anybody's fault. It's my fault for running late. I got caught in traffic trying to get here to do the show. So it's nobody's fault. It wasn't StreamYard. I don't guess it is. So this is on me. As a man, I accept responsibility for what's going on, okay? Shout out to everybody. Let me go to Patreon real quick. There was an article I did on Patreon on April 26th, all right? And the article was titled, "It's All About the Timing and Who Benefits. Who's Behind the Terror in Jammu and Kashmir?" All right. I advise everybody to read that article. Not that I'm begging you to sign on to my Patreon or what. I'm saying if you want to understand what's going on with the situation in Jammu and Kashmir and what's going on with this build up for war in the Indus Valley, one would have to go back down a timeline. All of this stuff happens around the very time that Vice President J.D. Vance visits India. Around the exact same time, Vice President J.D. Vance gives a speech in India saying that India is one of his closest strategic allies and offering India a seat at the table of the West and offering India all of the hardware that the West has to offer to offset China's global rise. Okay, it's very important that you understand this because nobody else is talking about this. And I understand. I was watching some of the alternative media channels, addressing this. And it's very important that some of the lawyers, I believe some of them are international lawyers, some of them have tried cases in their own countries and in other countries. But it was very, I would say, strange that they didn't understand the very happenings of what took place in Jammu and Kashmir. So India is in an outrage about this terror attack that took place in occupied, here it is right here, in an occupied area that does not even belong to India. I want to make that clear. Okay. The whole world is offering their condolences. The Western world is offering their condolences to India as if Jammu and Kashmir is Indian territory. Let me go to something in the article so that we'll be able to understand the entire situation and see that this is the empire, the British and the U.S. empire pushing this. They want to neuter Pakistan's military capability. Am I saying Pakistan is right and everything is? No. I'm not saying it. No. Pakistan is wrong on a lot of things that it does with. Because if I was Pakistan, there is no way that Israel would be allowed to commit genocide on the population of Palestine, right? For those of you who are not familiar with this, the Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago gave a speech, and I'm familiarizing everybody with this, okay? To our Christian brothers, Muslim brothers, Jewish brothers, and whatever other religion that you may be, I want to familiarize you with these things here, because nobody talks about this and this gets left out. This shows you the corruption of the Muslim leadership, the Muslim states, and who they truly work for. You are crying to the UN to do that which you can do for yourself. What use does it have of you having nuclear weapons when you are allowing a nuclear state to genocide your brothers? I want to ask Pakistan, would America allow Pakistan with nuclear weapons to do it to Italy? Would the United States or Great Britain or France allow that to happen? If Pakistan so chose to bomb Greece, but yet you sit on almost 200 nuclear bombs, and what good are they for you allowing the genocide to take place in Libya, Syria, Palestine, and you do nothing about it? You're just concerned with India. This shows you that these people are not made for leadership. And back to the prophet, to show you, so for you Christians, for you Muslims, for you Jews, and for you who are of other religions, listen to what the prophet says. And this is how you can discount any of the leadership of those nations. The prophet gave a speech before him leaving. And he said this: 3 generations after me will not be of me. I'm going to say that again. 3 generations after me will not be of me. We're talking about since 1500 years ago. A generation in some areas is 10 to 20 years. So you can discount all of these leaders talking about the Ummah and all of this stuff. The prophet says this, they are just talking, because the actions and their policies does not match. They only match what Prophet Muhammad warned you of, that these people were not of him. They're about money, not about lives, not about justice, not about prosperity and progression. They are about money, power, and politics. Okay? So you can discard any and every one of them who are talking about Prophet Muhammad this and Prophet Muhammad that. Just point to what the prophet said about it. Just discard them. Okay? So now let's go to something about what's going on in the Indus Valley. Okay? India is screaming to the top of her lungs about a terror attack on territory that is occupied illegally by India. You don't believe me? This is what you should bring up to all of those other alternative media that go along with, Pakistan created terrorists. Why weren't they saying that when India, the Mossad, because this is what took place. We have ample evidence of this. And all one has to do is Google. The Mossad, the MI6, the CIA, the French intelligence, the BND, or German intelligence, and the Indian RAW, okay? which is the intelligence service, the research and development wing of the Indian Armed Forces, right? These are intelligence agencies. All work together to stoke tensions in Baluchistan in Pakistan. They all work together to destabilize Baluchistan because it is resource rich, and that is an area that China is trying to invest in, and this is why you always have terror attacks in that area. No outcry, not one outcry, even as they targeted Chinese scientists, Chinese investors in that area. Who armed them? Go Google it, see who armed them. The same people that I just mentioned, right? No outcry. Pakistan didn't threaten war with India. So why is this now? See, the timing. Let's go to something in this article, because forget it being a paid article. We're going to go into something in this article, okay? We're going to go down to something that I pointed out in this article that should have been common for each and every prognosticator, pundit, or so-called alternative media head that is covering this, because if they're covering this without mentioning this, they have alternative motives, or they are ignorant and they should not be talking on the matter at all. Okay? Let's go down to something. In this article, I write here, it says, and here is one last thing that we should consider when looking at this event that took place in Jammu and Kashmir, okay? And this point I'm pointing out is the most important point of them all, okay? It says, Pahalgam, whichever way you want to pronounce it, in India's occupied areas of Jammu and Kashmir is not Indian lands as the media is presenting them. This is occupied territory. You may say, Rashid, are you just talking because you one of those Muslims? One thing about me, I'm just. One thing about me, I'm fair. And you can be listen to me good. How can I not be just when my father was a Christian? When I got every two people in my family, every two adults are either an imam or a pastor. Huh? How can I not see from both sides? I don't denigrate their beliefs. Hell, I believe in Jesus. The Muslims believe in Jesus. We believe that he is the Messiah. It says it in the Holy Quran. Oh, I forgot they don't tell you that. Those old extreme Muslims hate Jesus. But now you're learning something. So listen to me good. It says, and let me get a drink of water while I'm talking to you, because I hadn't talked to you in a while. And it's going to get hot in this kitchen because we're cooking up a good meal. It says, Pahalgam is in India's occupied area of Jammu and Kashmir are not Indian land. Now, hold on before I go further. Let me pull up something for you all. Hopefully this will come up. Okay, hopefully this will come up. Come on. All right, let's see. Everybody, bear with me 1 second, okay? Let me try to pull this up for you guys. All right. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Hold on 1 second. I should be getting a notice. I got the notice. All right, here we go. I should be able to get it now. Yes. Skip. I'm here. Now, we need to understand stuff first. All right. All right, check this out. You can put this in here exactly the way I did it. Go to your Google search engine. I want to empower you guys, because so many people, because you may be a Christian, they want to build off your ignorance so that they can exploit you. You may be a Muslim, they want to do the same to you. You may be a Jew, they want to do the same. I want to empower you with truth, with facts, because if you have what I have, I can't exploit you. All I can do is respect you. Okay? I want you to listen to something. I put in this word, meaning of occupied territory. This is what comes up from the practical guide to humanitarian law. Not from what Rashid said. The practical guide to humanitarian law. According to the word occupied territory. In international law, it means a territory considered occupied when it is actually placed under the authority of a hostile army. Now let's say that again. According to international law, now she knows international lawyers, and those lawyers that have tried cases on the international scene know this themselves. This should be second nature, right? Right? I'm not a lawyer, far from it. But common sense tells me to just look it up. According to international law, occupied territory is considered occupied when it is actually placed under the authority of the hostile army. Now, so everybody bear with me. We're going back to this article where I left off at, and we're going to use the UN, okay? Because we're going to lay this base here, and we're going to see who's behind this mess, all right? We're going to see who's behind all of this crap that is going on. It says, Pahalgam is in India's occupied area, so that's occupied, right? I'm using the UN definition of what's going on. It says, of Jammu and Kashmir are not Indian lands as the media is presenting them. This is occupied territory. That means that they are under the occupation of a hostile army. Pakistan is not that army, is it? So what is the army over that area? It's Indian army, the Indian armed forces, right? So according to the definition and according to the UN, who is the hostile army and who is occupied? Huh? So while India is screaming out, oh, this India is the assailant, it's the aggressor, it's the occupier. But in bizarro world, the victim becomes the aggressor and the aggressor becomes the victim. Let's go further. Remember this, those lands that India is claiming are Muslim lands. Jammu and Kashmir, go do your research, was a Muslim country under occupation of a Hindu leader. And the vast majority of the people of Jammu and Kashmir voted to go with Pakistan. But the Hindu leader saw India and signed a paper illegally against the will of the people. This is what triggered the war between Pakistan and India. Listen, everybody who's listening, go Google or Yahoo it, DuckDuckGo it, Bing it, or whatever, what I'm saying, and see if what I'm saying holds any weight. And if what I'm saying is holding weight, then it is not Pakistan or any other rebel or insurgent group that is the terrorist. It is the illegal army that is occupying the land that is not theirs, right? And according to international law, any land or people under occupation have the right to armed resistance, right? Right? Go Google it. Go to the UN and Google it. And hold on 1 second. Let's go to something real quick. We got a lot to talk about here, because we're gonna make it clean. We're gonna make it plain, because nobody else Nobody else. See, Panda. Where's Red Panda? That's what I'm talking about, Red Panda. This is what I'm saying. What they do, they gum up the mix with religion. That's what they do. They gum up the mix with religion so that they can play on key nerves of other people. And then while they're gumming up the works with religion, the facts go out the window. And so people become biased, right? That's why when I'm talking to you all, I always bring up facts. I always go to the dictionary. We go to the UN. We go to the writings, all of this stuff, so that we can see if Rashid is biased or if they are biased. Because if this was a Christian under occupation, I'll tell you that. If these were Christians being slaughtered, I'll tell you that. Okay? It makes no difference to me. A life is a life. People have to quit playing with people's lives and emotions to further their geostrategic or economic gains. Life means everything, and once it is snuffed out, you can never get it again. Regardless of whether it's a Muslim or a Christian life. Man, everybody just listen to me and just go along with the rant that I'm going. There's a lot of passion and emotion behind what I'm saying, but that does not nullify the truth that I'm presenting to you guys. It will not nullify that, right? Because a life is precious. You can never get that life back once it's gone. And these people are playing power politics with people's lives, and it's not right. So let's go to something real quick. Give me 1 second, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. To show you that Rashid is telling you the truth. I put this stuff in here to show you just how easy it is to find it. And these people are lawyers, doctors, government officials, and you're telling me that they don't understand this foolishness? I put in these words right here so that you can do it, so that you can see that Rashid is not lying to you all. In another window in Google, I put in, UN says any people under occupation has right to armed struggle. This is what comes up from the AI overview, okay? All right. The UN recognizes the right of people under foreign occupation to resist, including through armed struggle, within the context of their right to self-determination. So now listen, if India is occupying Jammu and Kashmir, and these people rise up, and we have some casualties, maybe foreign casualties, is that the fault of the people who are sick of the occupation, or is that the fault of the people who continue the occupation? Huh? Because this would not have happened if India would have ceded the territory that they stole from Jammu and Kashmir. So who's the victim here? Is it India? Or is it the people of Jammu and Kashmir? Why aren't we getting those questions asked? All right? And remember that Modi is responsible for a mass genocide of Muslims in India. And yet he attained the premiership of his country. Nobody talks about that either, do it? You don't hear any of the alternative media bringing that up because those are inconvenient truths to them. The inconvenient truths. So let's go further. Let's go back to, it says, matter of fact, let's see something. Listen to this part right here. International law. This is your brother talking to you now. in the same thing that I pulled up, international law. The right to resist occupation is also recognized under international law, as argued by Research Society of International Law in their analysis of the UN General Assembly Resolution 3743. Huh? 3743. Go look it up. So now India is up in the crawl. Oh, we will chase all the terrorists who struck, but that's not your land. And according to the international law, you are illegally occupying it, so you're the terrorist. How about that? Why aren't they saying that? Huh? Show everybody, listen. Show me one time where I lied to you. Show it to me. Show me one time where I fudged the truth or anything about this. Because I'm telling you where to go get the information from. Let's go back to my article real quick on Patreon. So I'm going to pull up something for you guys. It says, those lands are Muslim lands under India's majority Hindu occupation. Now, people say, well, you say Hindu occupation. That's what the UN said. I'm quoting what the UN said. Okay? So listen what it goes on, because this is UN. This is not Rashid from this point on. All of what you're reading now is UN. Okay? An elaboration. See here. The UN views the Kashmir region as a disputed territory, with India and Pakistan both claiming it. Remember, I told you that the people voted to go with Pakistan, but it was a Hindu leader who was imposed upon those people who went with India because India was Hindu and India put pressure on them. So we have a dispute here. All right. Why wasn't India up in arms when India's raw, the Israeli Mossad, the CIA, the BND, the French intelligence, and the MI6 all were in Baluchistan and helped to blow up a bus carrying Chinese scientists? Huh? Why weren't they talking about war then? The Chinese even openly stated that Raw had something to do with it and that they better get their act together. If you think I'm lying, Google what I'm saying. If you go to the article, I even put references to some of this stuff in the article right that I'm reading right now. Okay? So let's go further. See, all of this is a map. The empire is doing this. The United States and Britain is pushing India, because India does not want to be seen as second fiddle to China. They would rather be fourth fiddle to Britain and the United States than be a junior partner to China. Even with all of the economic benefits, the political benefits. So what Vance did was promise them something. Listen, we'll come in here. We'll give you a free hand to take out Pakistan. And why would this be so important? And why would this happen now? Let me tell you some of the things that we're going to get back to the article. China just transferred AWACS to Pakistan. Pakistan is about to receive upgraded the J-10Cs, I believe, J-10Bs or something. They're also in the running to get the upgraded export version of the J-35 from China, the fifth or sixth generation warplane. Plus, China has just transferred 2 of the 8 advanced submarines to Pakistan, plus some frigates. So, why is this important? Because these frigates and these submarines nullify any naval advantage that India would have in a war with Pakistan. So Pakistan has not received all of them yet. But isn't it ironic that this happens as 2 were given to the Pakistani military? Isn't this something that This happens after Pakistan resubmits its commitment to the Belt and Road Initiative and also to one of the ports in Gadwar for the Chinese military to dock there from time to time, and also for the Chinese to use those ports to bypass any contentious waterways so that they can continue their routes to the Belt and Road nations? Why isn't anybody asking that? Why aren't your favorite channels asking that? Why aren't they bringing up these facts? Because these are what they are. They're facts. They may be inconvenient truths, but they're facts nonetheless. And no one is talking about it because I've watched almost every channel and they refuse to mention this stuff. Even while I'm sitting there mourning and grieving over the death of my mother, I'm looking at some of the news and I'm catching bits and pieces of it. And I'm saying that, what the hell is going on? What? If I know this, I know they know it and they have better contacts than I do. Huh? You have got to get in these people chats and put pressure on them. You've got to do that or they will exploit you. Okay? So let's go further. It says this right here. And Mama, I told you I'm going to represent you till I go. Till the casket drop for me, not just for you. You told me to teach the truth, even if the truth be against my own self. And I'm going to teach the truth till the casket drops. Love you, Mama, more than life. I love you more than life. So listen. It says this. The UN has expressed concerns. Listen to this part, because remember India is screaming about the death of visitors and tourists there, right? And that this was a terrorist attack, right? And India will chase down and pursue every terrorist, no matter where they go. Doesn't that sound like the same mantra George Bush and the rest of them say after they initiate a terrorist attack and then present themselves as the victim? Isn't that the same mantra? This should let you know where this is going. Listen what this says right here. And I'll go back and highlight the chat in just a few minutes, but I want to get this point across because there's so many people asking what is going on with this Jammu and Kashmir situation. And one asked the question, why would Pakistan do that at a time when the vice president visits? Why would Pakistan do that at a time when they just signed and reaffirmed the Belt and Road Initiative? Why would they do that when they just signed a deal for a $60 billion investment in Baluchistan by China? How does that make sense? Huh? How does that make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, cast that mess in the trash can. Anyway, listen to what it says. The UN has expressed concerns over human rights abuses. Listen to that part right here. The UN, not Rashid, not the Pakistani intelligence services, not the Chinese intelligence services, not the Pakistani government, not the Pakistani elite, not the Pakistani people. Listen to what that says. The UN, meaning the United Nations, right, has expressed concern over human rights abuses in the Indian-administered region of Jammu and Kashmir and has called for the right of self-determination for the people of Kashmir. Now, hold up. Could the mistreatment and abuse and the torture of the people be the cause of the blowback of what took place in Jammu and Kashmir, the occupied portion that is under Indian rule? Why didn't anybody question that part? Because the UN did, but your favorite pundits missed it. Your favorite prognosticators, commentators, and reporters missed that part. But the UN caught it and the UN raised the question. Because the UN has mounds of evidence of torture, disappearances, murder, rapes, by the Indian armed forces of the Muslim population in Jammu and Kashmir. Could this not be blowback from those actions of terrorism that is espoused by the occupying forces? Why does it have to be Pakistan? Couldn't the people just be pissed off that you keep trampling on their rights, their dignity, and their freedom? Huh? I'm asking. Why must it be Pakistan? Let's go further. Man, I tell you what. And tell the truth, everybody, none of these people were talking about this stuff. None of them was mentioning this. None of them. Because they don't respect your intelligence. I keep telling you this. Through traffic, didn't have time to download anything. And everything that I'm telling you, I put it in the search engine, pops up, we read it, we go through it. If I could do that on the spot of a dime, you telling me these international lawyers, these journalists, these people who are well connected did not know that or have access to that resource? Man, stop this. Stop it. Stop this. Okay? So listen. We'll go further. It says, elaboration. The UN has a long history of involvement in the Kashmir dispute, stemming from the partition of India and Pakistan in 1947. The UN has passed, listen to this part right here, because this is very important, okay? Because we're talking about international law. We're talking about international law here. Because we see that America doesn't abide by it. We see that Britain doesn't abide by it. We see that France doesn't abide by it. We see that Israel doesn't abide by it. And guess what? Their junior partner, India, is showing you that it doesn't abide by it. But listen to what this says right here. The UN has passed numerous resolutions on Kashmir, advocating for a plebiscite to determine the future of the region. India ignored it. So now you ignore the will of the world, which is the UN. You ignore the will of the people that you occupy, which is Jammu and Kashmir. You brutalize them, victimize them, vanish them, and then you rape and degrade them, and you say Pakistan is the cause of the terror in Jammu and Kashmir. Have you lost your flipping mind? It's like you're detached from reality. Oh, man, I tell you what. So let's go further. It says this right here. The UN High Commissioner, okay? The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has issued reports documenting, listen to me good, this ain't Rashid talking, this the UN Commissioner for Human Rights, has issued reports, not a report, reports, that's plural, that's multiple, documenting, all right, human rights violation in Indian administered Kashmir, including, listen to this, excessive use of force, extrajudicial killings, arbitrary arrests, and guess what else? Torture. So when the people lash out, it's Pakistan, man, stop playing with people's emotions and all of this foolishness. So let's go further. This is in the article. I'm just reading you part of the article on Patreon. Okay? I'm not even going into the links. I'm not going into the major part of, I'm just reading you part of this, okay? To let you understand that all of this stuff is make-believe. It's Walt Disney. It is a move by the U.S., India, all of them to stand as they're moving to weaken Iran so that they can then weaken China and Russia. This is what this is about. We're going to neuter Pakistan's economic and military capability by destabilizing it, making it look as it's an international terrorist and pariah state. So nobody will invest in it. And that will be one leg that China can't use in its Belt and Road Initiative. So that if China has to send goods, they'll have to send them through the Indian Ocean. And we can, in the event of war, we can cut off. We can cut them off. All right? This is what this is about. It's more than what meets the eye. Let's go further, okay? Oh, man. Listen to what it says. It says the UN Security Council. Who is the UN Security Council? So we've talked about the UN, which is the United Nations. But who is the UN? Who are the UN Security Council members? The UK, the US, France, Russia, and China. The 5 permanent members, right? Now that we have that, let's go back down here. The UN Security Council has also discussed the situation in Kashmir and has called for restraint and a peaceful resolution. But how can there be a peaceful resolution when the occupying forces refuse to show dignity to the people that they are occupying and refusing to show humanity to those humans that they degrade on a daily basis and then remove them from their own land? Huh? For there to be a peaceful resolution, the occupier must acknowledge his wrongdoing and must want to change his actions for the better, which will give hope to the occupied. And if there's hope instilled in the occupied that has been under occupation for 40 to 50 years, then maybe some kind of agreement can be reached. But as long as the occupier refuses to just admit to the humanity of those whom they occupy, there can be no peaceful resolution. Do you understand? Man, I miss y'all. And not having my mom here makes me miss y'all even more. That's why I'm glad I'm talking to you guys. I miss you guys. Let's go further. It says, the UN's position on Kashmir. Listen to this part. Okay? Listen to this part and listen to this part very clear and very well. All right? The UN's position on Kashmir is generally aligned with the Pakistani perspective. Why did they not tell you that part? Huh? Why are they on all of the media? Yes, Pakistan must have a terrorist hand in all Pakistan. Right? Even after the Pakistani admitted, hey, when we were up and doing terrorist stuff, we were doing it under the auspices of Britain and France and the United States. Then all that get dropped out. Oh, Pakistan a terrorist state. Well, if they're the terrorist state, then who the hell are the terrorists who are funding them, training them, and then giving them the operations to carry out? Huh? Man, stop this. Listen, one thing, I'm not going to ever waste your time. I'm not going to ever sit here and lie to you. And I'm not going to ever try to make a lie to be the truth and a truth to be the lie. That's not happening. That's not happening. Listen to what it says. And every one of them know this to be the truth. The UN's position on Kashmir is generally aligned with the Pakistani perspective, not the Indian perspective. The Pakistani, what does Pakistan view of it is? That India is illegally occupying Muslim land. That India is suppressing the majority of the people there, and that India refuses to treat them humanely with dignity and allow them for self-determination, right? That's the Pakistani view. We just heard that the UN agrees with Pakistan's assessment of the situation. So if that is the case, and there's a violent uproar, How could you blame that on Pakistan when even the UN is in agreement with Pakistan's view? Hell yeah, the leaders of Pakistan are corrupt as hell. But that does not dismiss the truth of the matter. Huh? It says, the UN's position on Kashmir is generally aligned with the Pakistani perspective, which views, listen to this part, which views the Indian-administered region as illegally occupied. According to what we read before, occupied territory, according to international law, is a territory considered to be occupied when it is actually placed under the authority of the hostile army. What? You mad with Rashid? Oh, I know YouTube is about to take about 200, 300 more subscribers from me today. I already know that. And at least a couple hundred views from it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We're reading it directly from the UN. Not from Rashid, from the UN. It says this. The UN's position on Kashmir is generally aligned with the Pakistani perspective, which views the Indian-administered region as illegally occupied, right? While India considers it an integral part of its territory. India considers it, but the vast majority of the world says it's occupied. So if it's occupied, and you're suppressing people, disappearing people, raping people, torturing people, and then you're just beating people, doesn't that breed violence and anger? You don't need to go to Pakistan for that. You'll have plenty of it in the midst of Kashmir, right? Right? So why won't anybody address the 800-pound gorilla in the room? If India is so upset with this, and if India is so hurt by this, and if the Indian nation is so hurt by this, then release the people that you're occupying. Huh? The same with Israel. Israel is screaming left and right. Release the occupied people. Release their land. Let them have the freedom of choice. The same with the ex-slaves in America. You know, I thought about this in America, okay? As I thought about this, I said, you know, the contentment for black people in America is at an astonishing rate. America breaks stuff and then never takes responsibility for breaking. You breed people for 300 and plus years as if they were cattle. You didn't allow them to read. You didn't allow them to write. And as a matter of fact, in the Virginia House of Delegates, one of the congressmen was saying that we have, as far as possible, right, prevented any light to enter into the slave's mind, right? And then they go and say, okay, you're free. You're free without land. You're free without knowledge. You're free without this. And then you get ghettos. You get people that are savages. But you took 300 and some years breeding these savages. And it's not on you no more. And then the violence spreads across the world. And it's that person and that person. Oh, they're prone to violence. No, Sherlock. If you bred them like that, guess what's going to happen? That's what you're going to get. You have so much contempt for everybody that you break that you don't never want to accept the responsibility. I'm talking about the Western world. America, and it's crazy because a white person pointed something similar out to me once, and I laughed. I said, you know what? I often thought about that also. Save the manatees, right? They preserve the manatees. They give them a area where they can breed. Save the bulls and give them an area where they can breed. Save the bears. They give hundreds of thousands of acres for buffaloes to roam and reproduce. And they have yet to give 40 acres in the mule to the ex-slave as they promised. How in the hell is that justice? This is what is causing the fall of America. She refuses to do right. This is what is causing the fall of this world. They refuse to do right when they have it in their capacity to do right. You over there screaming about what Ukraine owes you, and you've never paid the Indians what you owed them. You never paid the ex-slaves that 40 acres and a mule that you... Think about that. And you talking about what Zelensky owes you. Talking about what Germany owes you, what Britain owes you. This is what I'm talking about. The madness of this people. India does the same thing because it looks down on life that is not Hindu. And when you don't look at life as you should, life is not something for as a toy. Life is not your prerogative. Life is God's blessing. And you're not the God. Life is more than that. Man. A shout out to Flying Crocodile. Oh, man, let me see something. Let me highlight this. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. I have to talk to you guys like this because you don't get it raw nowhere else. How the hell can you justify saving 500,000 acres for some buffaloes and you've never given 5 acres to your ex-slaves? How in the hell can you talk about you'll go war for Israel that you've never done nothing wrong to preserve a made-up land called Israel, but you would not give a territory within your own land for the Indians or for the ex-slaves? How is that just? Tell me that. In this day and time, the reason America is catching hell is because she refuses to do justice. The reason England is catching hell is because she refuses to do justice. On the one hand, she's talking about democracy and refusing to allow the Irish to be free. Refusing to allow the Malvinas Islands to go back to Argentina. Refusing to allow people to return to their islands in the Pacific Ocean, thousands of miles away from it. The French, talking about an African island off the coast of Africa, is a French territory, a European territory. Man. This is what the Indians are doing. The Indians are doing this. And nobody says a word about this because it's inconvenient. Nobody says anything about this because it might piss somebody off. Sometimes it's good to get pissed off because it makes that gray matter snap. And then you get to, listen, when God created everything, it was nothing, right? He had to use that matter in his noggin to produce something out of nothing. Sometimes it's good to get mad so that you can use that gray matter to produce something out of the nothingness that is this world. Man. Oh, man, let's go back to this right here. Oh, buddy. So, I'm sorry, everybody, but I can't let this go. I have to tell you the truth, regardless of whom or what. Be mad, whatever, be mad. But no, it comes from this place right here. We're not going to always agree on everything. All right? We're not going to always agree on everything. But we're close. And all I'm saying is I have legitimate points. Legitimate. Think about this. They are screaming about the rights of democratic nations while ripping the democratic leaders away from those nations? Huh? Huh? If you vote a certain way, some of the European nations are tired of this crap that's going on too. They've been bamboozled. Some of them been bamboozled too, and they're tired of it. And what happens? They overthrow the leader, annul the election, right? They do all of that stuff. This cannot go on in perpetuity. My thing is to ask the Christians, and my thing is to ask the Muslims, if there is a such thing as judgment, and there's a such thing as justice, then how can you think doing unjust things will not bring about judgment and justice? Huh? If there is a God, and there is, right? And we are all governed by his laws. Above anything else, we're governed by God's laws. Because the laws of science are the laws of God. The laws of mathematics are the laws of God. Because I don't care how many times you add 7 and 7, you are never going to get 154. God's laws are concise. And whenever you try to bend them, break them, or mold them into your own liking, you throw everything out of whack. That's why they're screaming about a market correction right now. That's why they're screaming about a political correction right now. That's why they're screaming about a geopolitical correction right now. If it was right, there would be no need to correct it. If the monetary system was just, fair, and right, there would be no need for a correction to take place. For a correction to take place, that means something in it is wrong. In the political sphere of things, they're screaming about a political transformation or correctness. Why? Because there's incorrectness going on right now. And they want it to continue because they want to fool you so that they can make you the victim, the prey, as they eat off the big plates and enjoy power, money, and their families go off to these big colleges and rub elbows, and then they take over, then their families take over, and their families, while you're eating the mud and the dust in the street. You understand? If I find an enemy for you, and I push it hard enough, you won't be looking at me as your enemy. And if you're not looking at me as your enemy, then I can go and steal some more money. And I can go and rob some more people. And I can go rape some more women. And I can go do this and that. What, have anybody asked the question? Whatever happened to the release of all those Epstein's files that Trump was talking about? Why did they disappear? I'm asking. And why did the same moment that they disappeared? Because remember, all of the alternative media was bragging that Trump was going to release those things. And why the moment that he didn't do it, and then it went away, they stopped talking about it. Huh? Was that a coincidence? Well, every time he says he's going to do something, they always bark about what he's going to do. And when he doesn't do it, like clockwork, they stop talking about it. Ask yourself why. Ask. So let's go back to this real quick. And I won't keep you here much longer. Let's see. Let me go back up. Matter of fact, before I read something, let me put some stuff on the screen, everybody. Give me like 1 minute before I go back to this. I do want to acknowledge people in the building. All right, give me a second. Let me go up. This thing is jumping. All right. I'm just going to put this up there. I'm not going to say much. Shout out to everybody. I really, really appreciate you guys coming on. All right, here we are. Thank you so much, Red Panda Pie. Salute, Perseverance Chameleon in the building. Salute. Aloha to you too, Grizzly. You know, I got a cousin. She's a podiatrist. She works in Florida now. She's from Washington. Come on, YouTube, StreamYard. I know you're mad and now you're messing with the buffer and stuff on there. Yeah, she's with me forever. She's with me forever. I'm her second baby boy. And I'm gonna say that, you know, let me share something with you guys. That's something. The reason I would go off the air and say, Mama, your baby boy loves you more than life. It was twofold. All right. It was twofold. It was the pick at my mom and my son. Also acknowledging my mom at the same time, because my mom and my son like this are like this. And my mom will tell you in her heart, that's my baby boy. That's my baby. Kabari is my baby boy. You're my baby boy, but you're not my baby boy. Kabari is my baby boy. So I would make fun of her, and she would laugh. I said, Mom, your baby boy loves you more than life. And then my son, after the show, my son would run in my office and be like, oh man, that's my old lady, and I'm her boy. Don't you ever forget that I'm Nana's baby boy. Like all the time, you know. And I'm telling you, you couldn't say anything about Kabari, because she would get she'll get mad at you and tell you off and get an attitude with you and everything else. So that's why I would always say that to her, and we would laugh about it after the show when I go over to drink coffee. So I'm sharing that with you all. And see, thank you, Vera. I really appreciate it. Webfoot says, I heard about your mother. I'm sorry, Rashid. She's watching in spirit. You know, now that I think about it before we go further, it's beautiful, because I hope I can pull this up. Hold on a second. I might want to share something with you guys. Maybe on the next show, I'll probably pull it up. Like this past holiday, we were at my mother's house. It was me, my mother, my oldest sister, the boss, because she thinks she's the boss. She's always bullying me and my brothers and my cousins, always. And our wives are always laughing and stuff. My oldest sister always bullying us. And so my cousin came over, and it was me and my brother. Let me see which division my brother served in. Hold on one second. I want to see which division he served in. Give me a second, everybody. I know sometimes we just got to lighten this up with a little lightheartedness. I know 2nd Infantry, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. Chris, I'm sorry, man, if I don't put it up on this one, but I'll put it up on the next one. And I had it up on my phone because I was looking at your hat. Hold on one second. Everybody, give me a second, because I'm hoping I can pull this up for you guys to share with you all. You're my family, so I want to share it with you all. Here it is. Here's the 2nd Infantry. 2nd Infantry. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. That's my brother's hat from the 2nd Infantry Division. He served on the DMZ. My brother who's always with me. All right. So he and I and my cousin. Before I say anything, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up, and then you'll see us. Okay, I pull it up. Okay. So this last holiday, we're all at my mom's house. Me, my sister, my brother, my cousin comes in town. He said he had in his heart he wanted to see his auntie. So we all in there laughing. And I'm gonna share some pictures. Hopefully this will show up for you guys. Just a light moment for you guys, okay? Because we've been going hard at it. And so, some of you guys will recognize who this guy is, all right? So here we are together. This when I show it, it might be from right to left. You'll see me with a scully on. You'll see my cousin in the middle, and you'll see my brother from the 2nd Infantry Division. Okay, and let me show you. Let's see if I can pull it up. Come on. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. All right. We're at my mom's house. All right. My brother has the bag across his shoulder. My cousin is in the middle, and I'm on the side. That's me, my brother Chris from the 2nd Infantry Division. My cousin, my first cousin, who is a Hall of Famer from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Derek Brooks. We all up in there laughing and joking, and me. And then let me show you one more picture of him sitting over on the couch, and my mom. You can see my mom on the side next to her walker, and you'll see my sister over there bullying him because she just got done bullying us. So it's funny. Let me see. Let's see if I can pull it up. Please, I might just have to turn this off for a minute. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can turn this thing off 1 second so you guys can see. Because I'm not in my office area. I'm in another room. I'm going to turn this off. You guys got to forget what you see in the background. I'm not in my office, so give me a second. Let me see. Settings, layout, background, virtual background. We'll put no virtual background for a second, okay? And you guys will see. I'm sorry about how it looks back here, but okay. So that's my mom. She's sitting down laughing. That's my cousin, and that's my sister over there. Been bullying us since we were kids. And this is me, my brother, and my cousin. I was laughing about my sister bullying us, you know, because she's been bullied. So yeah, I had to share that with you guys, because you know, memories, man. These memories are something else. Okay. Let me see if I can pull back up that screen for us. All right, we're back. So let me go back to my screen. That's my mother. And she got a chance to spend a little time with all of us before she passed away. And I think that was beautiful. She really enjoyed herself. A says, rest in peace for your late mom. I saw your mom's beautiful earring. She hairstyle. They look great on you. I mean, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see. But again, let's see what Perseverance Community says. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Pakistan needs to rejoin India, Bangladesh, etc., so the West can stop messing with them in that region. The global South does not think military. I don't think so. Because if Bangladesh, and first of all, you have to understand that the majority of India are extremists. This is no lie. They're extreme Hindu. How can I say this? And I'm not. Let me see how I can tell. Okay, they have a caste system. They not only are they extreme against Muslims and Christians, they're extreme against Hindus. So that is one thing that you have to understand. So thing would mean that you're bringing the same thing that's going on in Kashmir is going to come to you. You're neutering your potential to keep them off of your back. All right, and a lot of you don't understand that the British Crown is involved in this. They never ever fully allow India complete sovereignty. That's why you see them all in the what is it called, the British what is it called? They all get together and they play cricket or all that stuff, and it's called the I forget what, all of the former colonies get together. They're still under some influence of the crown. You see the lasting effects of it in Hong Kong. Some leftovers from the British crown. And so you have, even in Russia, You have people that saying, you know what, Vladimir, you're a good president. But man, let's go and do this and get this out of the way. Because they're never going to stop. And then you see, and he's balancing between the people who really want to just say, you know what, forget this, let's get this out of the way. And the other ones, those fifth columnists who want to return back so that they can make money with the West. And those people don't realize that the money with the West is no longer money. Those are just digits on a screen. They don't understand that this is a new paradigm, a new world, where the dollar will not matter in the sense that this matters now. Where the British pound will not be a preeminent currency. Where the euro won't be able to dictate. The West has had it so good, so long. Russia tee off one time. I'm going to tell you why. And then tell me if I'm wrong about this. Russia is selling oil. Russia is selling what is potash, you know, the stuff to grow the fertilizer and stuff. Russia is selling gas and oil and potash and platinum and uranium and all of this stuff to the West, right? And Russia allows the West to determine the market price for the stuff that comes out of Russia's ground. Now, I'm gonna show you how insane that is. Go to Walmart, for those of you who are in the United States, and go into Walmart and go on a shopping spree and tell them people, I want all of those HD TVs. I want all of your tablets and computers. I want all of your electric bikes. I want you to load them back up in the 18-wheelers and bring them to my house. And I'm going to pay you in my currency, my money. And in my mind, look, I got a printer over here. And in my mind, my currency is worth $30. So it's 30 of my currency to $1. Walmart will look at you like you've lost your flipping mind. Have you lost your mind? We don't accept that paper that you print that stuff on. We accept this. If you have this amount of money, we'll do this. And Russia allowed the West to dictate and determine the price of the oil, the price of the gas, the price of the gold, the price of the potash. It's absolutely insane. Even if you look at North Africa, when you look at Mali, you look at Burkina Faso, and you look at Niger, and now you're looking at Ghana, and you're looking at all of these other nations, they're saying, hold on, wait a minute. No more. You're going to have to buy this. And if you, oh, man, come on, stop this, YouTube. We're about to end the show anyhow, YouTube, so you can stop. We're going to have to set up some type of credit system where you can pay us in this credit system, right? And the amount that you pay us is within our banks. You don't get to hold them. I keep telling you that Europe and the United States set up the greatest money laundering, the greatest financial con in the history of the world. Think about it. France does not have one gold mine, not one. And it's talking about when Burkina Faso and all the rest of them say, we want our gold back. France said, oh, this is ours. We mine this. How the hell you mined it? Where did you mine it at? You mined it in Burkina Faso, right? In Mali, right? So it's Mali and Burkina Faso's gold. You have no gold mine. And then the UK has no gold mines at all, and it determines the price of gold on the gold market. How in the hell is that even possible? And then, look at this. They go in there, they'll say, listen, you see this paper right here? This is 50 euros. We've given it a denomination of 50 euros. We think that is worth 35 euros, right? But we're going to buy it from you for 50. So we buy a lot of your goods from you, and then we turn over 5, 10, $20 billion, 20 billion euros, right? We get your goods, we reprocess them, we refine them, And then if you piss us off, if you don't sanction that nation that we want you to sanction, if you don't kowtow us, guess what we do? We nullify the paper that we gave it to you, even though we maintain the ownership of the raw material, right? That's embezzlement. That's strong arm robbery. So you nullify the value of it, but you keep the goods. The United States does the same thing. This is the greatest con in the history of the world. I don't think you guys understand. And now the nations of the world are starting to wake up for it. Wake up to it. And now, before we come to a close, because we're going to have another show, all right? Matter of fact, let me put this up because somebody asked me this. I really didn't want to put this up, but somebody asked me this, and I'm going to do it. Let's see. I think that's it. Cash App. Cash App. If you like to donate a flower or something to my mother's bereavement, the best one would be to Cash App. I didn't want to put this up there, but I got 4 or 5 emails, and I was like, man, I don't want to do this. But I got an email before the show, and I'm going to put it up there. It's up to you to do it or not. I'm not going to be heartbroken whether you don't do it, okay? But I'm going to leave that up there. The best way is to the Cash App. That's $ Truth and Power, okay? But anyway, so now, with this Indian thing, all of this is to come after China in a nutshell. It is to weaken the BRICS alliance. It's to weaken that's why India fandangled this way into the Shanghai Cooperation Organization with promises. Now, some of the people in India, they do want to go wholeheartedly to the BRICS. They do want to go wholeheartedly to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, but you have the British leftovers, the colonial leftovers that still want to do business because that's what they do, big business for their family. They're securing money and power and resources for their family in the future, even though there will not be a future for the dollar. There will not be a future for the pound. There will not be a future for a euro because the whole world is changing. So what we're seeing now is nations are scrambling now. And they're trying to hold on to what they have. And all of this mass dash scramble, you've got to be very, very discerning about who you take for your friends. India is going to come around, but they're going to have to be spanked. They're going to have to be spanked economically, maybe militarily. And this is one thing that I hate that I've been hearing in the news. Pakistan, we need the U.S. to Russia to moderate. Maybe we need, man, the hell with that. This shows me how much of a coward you are. Listen, can I talk to you guys honestly for a minute? Forget that you're a Christian. Forget that I'm Muslim. Forget that I have Christian family. Forget that I have Muslim family. Forget that I have Christian friends. Forget that I have Muslim friends. Can I talk to you as a person to a person? Forget I'm black. And that's going to be hard to do because I'm black. No, I'm just joking with guys. But forget I'm black and you're white for a minute. And let's throw a little humor up in the air now and then. Forget what everybody's saying. Now, why should I be afraid of you when I have more nuclear weapons than you? If I have made it clear to you and I've said, hey, this was a false flag attempt. I don't care how much you have America on your side. I don't care how much you have Britain on your side. I don't care how many people around the world on your side. If I know my position is firm and I know that I did not do it, to hell with having a mediator. I'll lay out the terms. If you violate these terms, this will be the ramifications and the repercussions. If you are willing to take that, then okay, then let's do it then. Because if you cross those lines, there's no coming back from that now. We're going all the way. We're going all the way now. You don't get to strike me. You don't get to determine, terrorize your country and your nation for centuries. Go into that and get back revenge. Huh? But you want to hit me because you think I'm smaller and weaker? Man, forget your economic inducements. Forget your military threats. If you do it, be prepared to go all the way because I'm coming at you all the way. This is not going to be no half move now. I'll warn you, let's stay away from this. Let's talk. I'm not going to ask Russia to be a mediator. I don't need China as a mediator. I'm a grown man. And if nuclear weapons don't make you grown, then what the hell will make you stand up and be grown? Pakistani leadership, the ISI and all of them need to grow them a pair of cojones. If they can't grow them a pair, get them a doctor prescription and have the doctor to give them testosterone. Because they need some right now. Because all they are producing is what? Huh? What do women produce? Put it in the chat, everybody. Tell me what the women produce. They don't produce testosterone like men there. All right? I just need one person. Estrogen, all right? They're acting like women. And women, I'm talking about like little sissies. You got all of this military hardware. You got all of this military capability, and you acting like a little sissy. You get one life to live. It's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Your duty is to God, not to these people. Grow you a pair before you lose them. On that note, I want to thank each and every one of you for the love that you've shown for my mom and the love that you've shown for the show. Please, I ask each and every one of you to, if you can, get 3 people to come and subscribe because they keep unsubscribing people. Check your notification because they keep sending out notifications. Go over to all of the platforms on Rumble, Odyssey. Let me see what's the name of that other one that I keep forgetting. It's in my, hold on one second. What's the name of this? Because I don't know how to navigate this one. Telegram. Go to Telegram, Odyssey, Rumble, Locals, Twitch, Twitter. Sign up, share, like, subscribe, and bring 3 new subscribers each time you come. Please do that so that we can grow the channel organically and continue to beat the algorithm. I love each and every one of you if you love the truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that my God has for you. Remember to do right by others, not because there's some material gain for it, but do right by others because it's the right, the godly, and the humane thing to do for each other and to each other, okay? All right, man, forget about finance. Forget about materialism. Forget about subscribers. Look at each other as human beings. Measure each other with the measurement of a man or a measurement of a woman. And stop acting like you need validation from all of these crazy people. Truth validates you. Remember that. The only validation that you need is truth. And truth comes by way of God. America can't give you the truth. Russia can't give you the truth. China can't give you the truth. Only God gives you the truth. And when he gives it to you, you stand on it even through death. You stand on it. Okay? Mama, I hope I represented you in the best way. I hope I show the world what you taught me. And I hope I stand strong on the truth that you put in my heart and in my head. I love you more than life. And if I could, I would give mine for yours. But God knows best, even through these trying times. Everybody, I love you all. We go out the same way we came in. Peace and love. I'm out of here. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Are they going to let the thing play? Let the thing play. Man, these people are off their rockets.
can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment.